It's about that time of day again. About that time. Time for a quick recap here. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Joseph. Thanks so much for sticking around here with me and hanging out. As always, another exciting day in this live trade room. We begin every morning with a very, very simple but specific morning prep. Again, want to thank all of the distinguished guests here this morning for coming out and joining us, all the members for being here today. If you're sitting down here for the first time this morning, we open up this trade room at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. We do have our London-based trade room that opens up at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. So 2 trade rooms. We also have the afternoon session for trainings on Mondays and Wednesdays and for private calls on Tuesday, Thursdays. Russell, there you go, making a new possible higher high here in the Russell. So we come in this morning, and what's the first thing that we did? The first thing we did was we planned our trades. And so we went to our blog. And on our blog, there is a tremendous amount of information on the blog. First of all, you go to your home page of the blog here. You've got the morning prep. The morning prep was posted first this morning. And then we proceeded today to update the blog, which we do throughout the entire day for all of our new strategies, all of our plans that we go through. So you'll see we plan gold, we plan euro, we plan crude oil, we plan the Russell. So we put together our trading plan this morning across our four favorite markets, the euro, the gold, the Russell, and crude oil. So the first step is we planned our trades today. We take some time, a methodical approach to starting our day. That gives us a little bit of time to get the juices flowing a little bit, right? Get our sleeves rolled up and get ready for the action. Once I have my trades planned, then it's up to me to wait so I can trade my plan. Now, here's an example of the Russell today, and let's talk about kind of how we got into this Russell trade today and how the whole thing's set up. Now, you can see I am still in this trade long in the Russell. Got about, 22 ticks in this runner right now, and we're trying to go up to the highs here at the next level of resistance overhead at 41. So we're going to be hanging out here in the Russell a little bit. Right now, we're in the green on the Russell. We'll hopefully continue to see that thing go higher here. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. This trade on the Russell here. Now, the first clue we get this morning, we come in on the Russell, and what do we see? Breakout. We see that price is broken above the previous high of day. This is a big clue for us. When price breaks above the previous high of day, today we use the analogy of a Ferrari hybrid, right? As much as that sounds ridiculous, that was the example we used today. So this morning we were talking about this morning, saying when we break above the previous high of day, what's happening is you're getting the market participants are telling us that they view price as being too cheap. And when they view price as being too cheap, price will usually get bought. The demand will outweigh the supply, and price will rise. So when the price goes above the previous high of day, we want to be a buyer. But we know that we can't be a buyer into resistance. So this morning what happened was we actually had a great example of this where we broke out above the previous highs and went right to that resistance. You'll see it right there. It went directly right to that resistance level. And what was our plan that we talked about today at 8 o'clock? To sell that resistance. So that was our initial plan. But then all of a sudden we started to realize, wait a second, it's pulling back. We had a chance to get short, didn't take it. Personality hadn't woken up yet. But then we got this great example of a pullback trade, which of course we call the wave pattern. And so now we had enough room between the resistance and the entry. Whereas initially this morning we found ourselves right at that resistance, and I'm not going to buy into resistance like that. I'll wait for price to come pull back, and that's what resulted now in this wave pattern long. Now, the very interesting part about it was how speed played out. Look what time that was, 9:52. Now, let me show you something really cool. Take a look at the pace of tape indicator. And the pace of tape indicator, let's go back to 9:52. And let's watch, and you tell me. You tell me if this would have got you into a long position here. Try to line it up here so you can see what's going on. Again, 9:52 is the timestamp on that pullback. Go Russell, go. Go Russell, go. By the way, guys, we called this trade live in real time here today. Gave everybody a chance to get in with me on it. Okay, so there you go. That'll help. Watch the timestamp, and you'll see for yourself. I got the pullback on the trade, 9:52. Look what time we have here. There's 9:52 right about there at the bottom of your screen. Excuse me. Luckily, I'm not an artist. What do you see up there? Dramatic speed improving. What's the delta? Delta's green. What does it mean when the speed improves? It means there's something going on. What does it mean when the speed improves with green delta? It says that something are buyers. What about red delta? If the speed was rising and we saw red delta, what would that tell me? Something's going on, and that something is selling. So we were looking for a long position, and the first clue we got, which is really all you need to trigger this entry because momentum was great, the trend was great. You can see down bottom here, momentum curled up, green. The trend indicator is green as well. That's a scanner indicator, by the way, guys. This trend indicator is part of the scanner package. So we see right away here, look at the confirmation. Now, we were wondering if we just stay in this trade long or not. We were curious if we just stay in this trade long. You tell me. Look what happens every time the speed rises. There's your trigger, gets me in long. Speed rises again, green again, rises again, green again. Look, it keeps going, right? More speed, more green delta. That continues to tell us that even though the buyers are a little bit sleepy, they're still in charge. Talk about an effective tool. I'll tell you, a lot of my clients describe it as anything easier would be stealing. It really is the most effective way, in my opinion, to determine short-term market sentiment. Wait, Joe. Short-term market sentiment, what does that mean? What does that mean? Short-term market sentiment means it'll tell me where it's going the next 10 ticks, but it probably won't tell me where it's going to go in the next 10 hours. Short-term market sentiment. The pace of tape indicator, reading tape. It's going to tell me when I'm looking for a long trade to get into that long trade. If I was a swing trader or an automated trader, I wouldn't be using that tool. So just keep that in mind. If you're thinking about applying the pace of tape indicator to your swing trading, we have a small adjustment to make for that, and we'll talk more about that in our training sessions. So keep that in mind, right? The short-term market sentiment, the delta and the pace of tape indicator. Guys, we got a little bit more time here to answer questions. Took 2 trades today. Took 1 trade on crude oil. That 1 trade on crude was a decent winning trade. Here was a trade on crude. So if you look at the prep today, we're talking about going short on crude here. Got our +5 times 2 is 10. Got our 43, that's a +13. And then taken out for a -3. So you can see here, that's going to be a $200 winner on crude. So we make our $200 on crude oil. My goal is always to make 30 ticks per contract per day. And then here on the Russell right now, on the Russell here you can see from 31.4, again, got a +5 target, took 2 off at 5, it's 10. Got a 32.8, so 31.4 to 2.4 be 10, that's a +14. And of course, you've got your runner target all the way up top here now at 41.3. Before I wrap up this morning, I will confirm that target is correct one more time and make sure it's correct, but that's what we're looking for right now. So at the very least, guys, I'm making about 50 ticks on the trade here on the Russell. and hopefully we'll continue to get it going higher. Remember, the Russell is a much different market personality than crude oil is. The Russell's a market where you want to let that trade run. Crude oil is a market where you want to take the money and run. All right, another excellent day in this live trade room. I'll tell you what gets me really excited is when I see our members on a sleepy day like today making their daily goal. All right, making their daily goal every day, that's the key. 30 ticks per contract per day. That's going to make you $300 for every $2,500 you have in your account. Sounds like a pretty darn good way to jumpstart your career. Want to thank you all once again for being here today. We got some time to answer questions, so keep those questions coming.